Okay, so let's discuss the second pattern, which is the cup and handle. Okay, so what does a cup and handle look like and how can we trade it? So as the name suggests, we have a cup followed by a handle. And we will connect it by this neckline. Okay, so as you can see, this is the cup and this is the handle, right? So it sort of forms, you can see that it looks like a cup, right? Just by looking at it. Okay, so now a cup and handle pattern is very crucial in trading. Okay, first of all, they very rarely occur, right? And when they do, and when they do play out, they usually give very large moves. Okay, and generally what you will see is the cup formation happens over a very long time frame, a very long duration, uh, maybe from a couple of months to maybe even years. And so one thing we need to notice, the longer the cup duration, right, the longer it takes to form, the longer it will take for it to achieve the target, right? And probably that's how big the target will be as well. Okay, so this is one pattern where you can capture multi-baggers from, right? Multi-baggers are the stocks that give returns, exponential returns, 2 times, 3 times, 5x, 10x, right? And usually at the bottom of that move, you will see a cup and handle pattern, which triggers the large upcoming move. Okay, so as we can see, this is the neckline, right? And so how do we trade this? Let's say the neckline is 100 rupees. Again, this is a bullish pattern, so we will only be looking for buy trades, right? Or you can call it long, which means to buy. So we will buy on the breakout of the neckline. So if it's breaking 100 rupees, maybe at 100.20 paise, we can take a buy trade. Now what will be my stop loss? Stop loss will be the handle low. So let's say the low of this is around 90 rupees. So that is my stop loss, right? What do I mean by that? If price goes above 100 and then it starts to crawl back and goes below 90, we will exit our trade at 90 rupees and book a 10 rupee loss. Right? So that's our maximum loss. That's the maximum we can lose on this trade. Now let's look at targets. So first target will be the difference between the neckline and the handle low. So 100 minus 90, which is 10 rupees. So my first target will be 110, right? 100 plus 10. And the final target, which is usually large in perspective, will be the neckline minus the low of the cup. Okay, so let's say that the low of the cup is 50 rupees, right? So 100 minus 50, which is 50. So my final target will be 150 rupees. 100 plus 50, right? Now we may see the cup and handle like this as well. Okay, see, I'm not too particular on my patterns that they have to look like this. Okay, if I see a cup and handle like this, I will take the entry on the breakout right here. Okay, now guys, keep one thing in mind, that as per the textbook, there is no inverse cup and handle like this. Okay, there is no definition for this, right? But if you see a pattern like this on the bearish side, right, so you can still play it if you want, right? But as per the textbooks, there is no inverted cup and handle. But if you see this pattern, you can still play, right, on the downside. So let's look at a few examples of this pattern, cup and handle. Okay, and again, we can see this pattern on various time frames. Let me take you to the monthly time frame of Nifty. Okay, so the first one that I see is right here, starting from Feb 2008. Okay, first thing what I'll do is draw my neckline, and here is my cup, and here is the handle. Okay, see, it's not a perfect looking cup, right? But we need to see the larger picture and see that yes, it is forming a cup formation followed by a handle. So my entry will be on the break of this neckline. Okay, stop loss will be the handle low, and first target will be the distance from the neckline to the handle low, which is about 2000 points, which is somewhere around here. And now the final target, right? The final target will be this distance. So let's say I move this here, around 4300 points. So my target, final target, will come somewhere right here, right? So guys, this is the monthly time frame, right? Meaning each candle that you see here is of 1 month, 1 month duration. So it took about 1, 2, 3, 4 years for the final target to achieve, right? As I said, this is you have to look at a longer picture when you're looking at cup and handles, right? And especially because we're on the monthly time frame. Let's look at another example here in Nifty. So here's our cup, and here's the handle. So my entry is on the break of the neckline. Stop loss is below the handle low, right? That's the first target, and this is the final target, around 2300 points right here, right? So this achieved quicker. This took about a year and a half to hit. Okay, so again, it's a very long-term play, right? That's because we're on the higher time frames. If I go on the daily time frame, let's see, I got one right here. So here's my cup, and here's the handle. So my entry is on the break of the neckline. Stop loss is below the candle low, the handle low, and your targets you can place accordingly, right? First target is as per the handle, final target is as per the cup, which would technically be achieved here. Okay, let's see a stock. So this is HDFC Bank, the daily time frame. Right, so here we can see the nice cup formation and then the handle, and this is my entry, this is my stop loss, and the targets are easily achieved. right? It's a very simple pattern, guys, but it doesn't occur that frequently. Uh, but just keep one thing in mind: when it does, right, you will get a fantastic move through. We can also look at Bank Nifty. Here's one example. This is the daily time frame, right? We can also see this on the weekly or the monthly. Here's the cup, here's the handle, and you can see the move that occurs after it, right? Beautiful move, almost a one-sided move, right? So that's the beauty of this pattern. Okay, so this is the cup and handle, guys. Okay, there's nothing much more to it, right? So now let's move on and let's look at some other patterns.